A long time ago, the celestial realm possessed an artifact known as the Destiny Astrolabe, which had the power to control the fate of mortals. The goddess Nua once sealed the heavens with the sacred stone to save the world, and after the catastrophe, a giant was born from the ruins. This giant refused to follow the preordained path of fate and rebelled, attempting to destroy the Destiny Astrolabe. In the end, the gods of the celestial realm defeated him and scattered his remains across the earth. These fragments eventually formed Flower Mountain, where the Heartstone gave birth to a monkey demon. Later, the Destiny Astrolabe caused a series of disasters, turning Flower Mountain into a wasteland. Driven by vengeance, this monkey demon swore to fight against the celestial realm. The protagonist, Wukong, arrives at Immortals Academy, where the headmaster selects worthy candidates to ascend to the celestial realm and become immortals. However, Wukong does not participate in the selection ceremony. Instead, he sneaks into the kitchen to steal food, causing the captain of the guards to miss out on the meal prepared for him. In his fury, the captain vents his anger on a girl, bullying her and escalating the conflict to the point of drawing weapons to attack her. In a moment of peril, a recent graduate, Wanlian, intervenes and takes the fatal blow. Enraged, the soldier punches Wanlian, sending him flying. At that moment, another deity, Azzy, appears and kicks the captain, humiliating him in front of everyone. The captain, furious with shame, orders his subordinates to attack the girl, but Wukong quickly takes them down one by one. He grabs the captain and kicks him onto the dining table. A large group of guards bursts into the dining hall, surrounding Wukong. From his ear, he pulls out his weapon, a staff forged from molten lava. The soldiers charge at him, but he swings the staff, releasing flames and causing violent explosions that push all the enemies back. At this moment, General Hua receives a report about the conflict and immediately sends her trusted aide, Tian, to handle the situation. Wukong grins as he watches the fallen soldiers, but soon realizes danger is approaching. Tian swiftly ambushes him, throwing multiple throwing blades. Although Wukong defends himself as best as he can, the sheer number of blades makes it difficult for him to fight back. The Blade Master controls the blades, creating a massive storm, twister of blades, trapping Wukong in the center. With nowhere to escape, Wukong slams his golden cudgel onto the ground, causing it to rapidly grow and extend, piercing through the ceiling. He kicks the massive staff down, shattering the flying blades in the process. Though the Blade Master evades the attack, Wukong retrieves the cudgel and hurls it, forcing Tian to leap out of the way. Just then, Azzy calls out to stop him, but Wukong cannot halt in time, and the cudgel heads straight for her. The weapon strikes the girl, but she seems to stop it with just a finger. However, the one who truly blocks the cudgel is another man. He steps in to protect the girl and introduces himself as Erlang. He reveals his divine right arm and punches the cudgel away, causing the weapon to shatter in midair. Wukong recalls his cudgel and leaps to deliver a finishing blow, but Erlang charges at him and punches him, sending him crashing into the wall, knocking him unconscious. The guard sees this opportunity to arrest him and throw him into a cell. The headmaster repeatedly apologizes to General Hua. Azzy later arrives, complaining and questioning why Erlang was also imprisoned. He had only appeared to stop the battle. The general explains that Erlang disobeyed her orders. She had only instructed Tian to act. It turns out that Azzy is the general's daughter, and their relationship is strained because the girl despises her mother's authoritarian rule. At this point, Wukong and Erlang are locked in the same cell. Wukong complains that their last fight was unfair, 2 against 1. He demands a rematch, but Erlang refuses. So, Wukong begins to mock Erlang's mother, claiming she was punished by the general for falling in love with a mortal. Hearing this, Erlang is infuriated, and the two are about to clash again when the general and Tian arrive at the cell. She releases Erlang from his chains and orders him to go to the council hall, while Wukong stays behind, still complaining and unable to understand why Erlang is being let go. The general produces a crown of binding and places it on Wukong's head, beginning to chant. The crown tightens and Wukong is racked with pain, collapsing to the ground, screaming in agony and eventually losing consciousness. She then hands the staff that controls the crown to her daughter, ordering Azzy to keep a close watch on him. As Wukong falls into a dream, he recalls his origins. It turns out he is the monkey demon created by the Heartstone. A god once saved him out of compassion. To protect him from the god's relentless pursuit, his divine power was sealed within a human form. Meanwhile, General Hua was scolding Erlang, accusing him of being unable to let go of human emotions, which was preventing him from unlocking his third eye, the key to true divine power. She ordered him to forget everything from his past, including his mother and Aziz, in order to become a true god. When Wukong woke up, he found Aziz beside him. He swore that he would break free from his control and regain his freedom. He yelled at her, but as soon as she revealed her staff, he immediately kneeled and begged for mercy, unwilling to endure the pain again. Later, he was brought to a lecture hosted by the dean, explaining the workings of heaven. The group crossed a bridge connecting the mortal world to heaven, and the dean warned that falling into the river below would result in losing all divine power. They eventually arrived before the Destiny Star Chart, an apparatus controlling the fate of mortals. General Hua began explaining the history of heaven, specifically mentioning the destruction of Flower Mountain, hoping to gauge their reactions and assess their motivations. The monkey demon listened angrily as she coldly recounted past events, wanting to take action. At that moment, Aziz intervened and publicly disagreed with her. She questioned whether heaven could still represent justice if it destroyed other people's homes. The general responded that everything operated according to the Destiny Star Chart, and that was justice. The general intentionally provoked the monkey demon, publicly revealing that the demon who once attacked heaven was still hidden within Wukong, and she ordered Tian to kill him and extract the Heartstone. Wukong acted first, knocking Wanlian unconscious and stealing the key to the council doors. He leapt onto the Destiny Bridge, attempting to destroy the Destiny Star Chart and end the control of mortal fate. Erlang blocked his attack, warning him not to defy heaven's rules. Drawing his sword, he charged at Wukong and thrust it into the fiery core of his weapon, freezing the flames. He then slammed Wukong to the ground and launched a series of attacks. However, Wukong skillfully dodged with his agile movements, and the battle gradually destroyed the Destiny Bridge, triggering a storm. Aziz discovered Wanlian unconscious in the kitchen and noticed the key was missing, immediately realizing something was wrong. Tian received orders to assist and arrived to help Erlang suppress Wukong. Aziz, carrying Wanlian, also reached the bridge to prevent further escalation. However, with no way out, Wukong struck the ground fiercely with his golden cudgel, causing it to expand rapidly and destroy the entire bridge. Everyone, along with their weapons, fell from heaven to the mortal world. Miraculously, they survived, looking around in confusion. Tian realized they had landed on the ruins of Flower Mountain. The three continued to fight, but soon realized they had lost their divine powers, because they had crossed the Destiny Bridge. The chaotic battle was interrupted by the sudden arrival of large clouds. The villagers panicked and fled into their homes, fearing the demons that were about to attack. A cloud monster appeared, draining the water from humans and abducting villagers. Tian saw children trapped and rushed to their rescue, with a woman desperately protecting them. Tian pulled them into a house, but the cloud monster caught him and dragged him toward the center. Just as he was about to be devoured, Wukong grabbed him and they all pulled him back together. Aziz used the ice arrows invented by Wanlian to shoot the cloud monster, freezing it and forcing it to retreat temporarily. The next morning when Wukong woke up, he found himself bound to a tree. Aziz explained that this was to prevent him from causing trouble again. She told Wukong and Erlang that they needed to help the villagers, who viewed them as gods descended from the heavens but were struggling with water shortages and famine. At first, both refused, believing it was not their responsibility. But when they saw the ruined village and the suffering of the people, they decided to act. Together with Aziz, they captured the cloud monster and saved the villagers. Tian explained that the floating cloud had originally come from heaven but had become corrupted by the demonic energy spreading through the ruins. It had taken the village's water supply, causing drought and crop failure. They devised a plan to trap the cloud monster. They would create a fake sunset to lure it out and then use a giant cannon to fire ice shells at it. With the help of the villagers, they set up red cloths according to the design. As night fell, the sky darkened, and the cloud monster appeared, hovering over the village. They fired ice arrows at it, but this only angered it, causing it to retreat briefly. Tian then threw a torch, setting the dry hay under the red cloths ablaze, creating a fiery illusion of sunset. This successfully revealed the true form of the cloud monster. Once it got close, the cannon was quickly loaded, and everyone together fired the ice shell directly at its face. The monster was frozen completely and fell from the sky. Tian seized the opportunity to trap it in a giant cage, successfully capturing it. The long-awaited rain finally fell from the sky, and the villagers cheered with joy, celebrating their victory. That night, people gathered for a celebration, with a roaring bonfire illuminating the scene. However, Wanlian sensed an unusual disturbance in the air, and ice crystals silently formed in the atmosphere. A mysterious figure, shrouded in dark energy, appeared at the edge of the firelight and suddenly launched an attack, sending Wanlian flying into a house. Chaos ensued, and the villagers screamed as they scattered in all directions. The assassin followed Wanlian inside, and ice blades quickly formed in the air, initiating a massive slaughter. More attackers arrived, surrounding Tian. He fought desperately to break through but was eventually pierced by countless ice blades and fell to the ground. Wukong sensed the commotion and rushed to the center. When they reached the building, they found everyone already dead. Erlang arrived at the scene and saw Wanlian barely alive. Wanlian apologized for failing to protect the villagers before passing away. More assassins surged forward, roaring in fury as they sought revenge for their fallen comrades. They aimed their fire at Wukong and countless ice bullets struck him down. General Hua then appeared, coldly declaring that their efforts were in vain. Fate had already decided everything. Mortals were destined to be trapped by the will of the destiny star chart. She ordered them to cease resistance, for everything was predestined. Wukong roared in anger, but with a single strike she knocked him unconscious. Aziz awoke in a prison cell, with Erlang sitting across from her, having already accepted the judgment of heaven. He told her that their attempt to defy fate and save mortals had been a mistake. Wukong was imprisoned in the deepest dungeon, struggling in immense pain, but he refused to die, waiting for Aziz's return. Aziz finally arrived at his cell, and when Wukong saw her, he managed a weak smile. She knelt before him, trying to end his suffering. Wukong thought she had come to rescue him, but she said, "I hate you. We've lost everything." Flower Mountain was gone, and they could not overcome fate. Hearing this, Wukong's spirit shattered. He closed his eyes and in his despair, gave up the fight. His body turned to dust, leaving behind the heartstone and the long-worn scarf. Aziz tightly grasped the scarf in her hands, tears streaming down her face. She swore to fulfill Wukong's last wish. She threw the scarf in the direction of Flower Mountain, and it landed in the village below. Erlang took the heartstone back to heaven and handed it to General Hua. After completely severing his emotional bonds, Erlang's forehead finally opened his third eye, granting him unprecedented power. Meanwhile, an elder in the village picked up the scarf that had fallen from the sky and encountered the soul of the monkey demon at the edge of the purgatory. Wukong thought he had lost everything, but the elder denied this. He said that although the heartstone was gone, he had shed his mortal form. Now, Wukong had to make a choice, either accept the course of fate or rise up with his willpower and fight. Wukong lowered his head in thought, slowly reaching for his golden cudgel, reigniting it into a burning flame. He raised the golden cudgel and slammed it into the ground. The massive weapon shattered the earth and rose into the air, causing the buildings to collapse. The monkey demon revealed his true form from the dust. The outer layer of the golden cudgel fell away, revealing its true essence. He unleashed the cloud monster he had previously captured. The creature soared into the sky, carrying the monkey demon straight toward heaven. Wukong landed at the edge of heaven and gazed at the gods. He slammed into the divine temple, causing an explosion that instantly wiped out all the guards, knocking General Hua to the ground. He declared that he was now equal to heaven itself, fearlessly confronting the heavenly soldiers. The demon hurled the golden cudgel at the soldiers and then charged into the battlefield like a beast, tearing through enemies one by one in vengeance for the destroyed village. Meanwhile, Aziz began to rebel against her mother's tyranny, attacking the Destiny Star chart with all her might, intent on completely destroying it. After surviving the chaos, Tian joined the fray, fighting alongside Wukong to dismantle the enemy forces. Soon the soldiers were defeated one by one, turning to dust. General Hua tried to stop her daughter from destroying the machine, choking Aziz by the neck and delivering a powerful blow to her chest, sending her flying. Wukong charged into the building and caught Aziz as she fell. Tian prepared for a final showdown with General Hua. He threw several flying blades, but General Hua easily blocked them with her metal, using it as a shield. After the battle, the sky darkened like ink. Wukong discovered that Aziz was severely wounded, and he gently laid her down in his arms. She whispered of her regrets, wishing only for more time together. The two shared a passionate kiss, and then Aziz turned to dust, dispersing with the wind. In his grief, Wukong removed her crown and tied it to his weapon. He took heavy steps toward the woman who had slaughtered countless lives, General Hua. She summoned a metal wall to shield herself, but Wukong's fury was unstoppable. He struck relentlessly, finally shattering her defenses. Forced to retreat, General Hua transported them to an open field, preparing for the final battle. Just as Wukong was gaining the upper hand, Erlang suddenly attacked, sending him flying with a single blow. Bereft of emotion, Erlang fought with the cold precision of a machine, engaging Wukong in a fierce melee. Ultimately, Erlang drove a massive ice blade through Wukong's body. At that moment, the lingering thoughts of Aziz within Wukong stirred Erlang's memories. Tears welled in his eyes as he realized he could no longer be controlled by General Hua. Enraged, General Hua transformed into a giant titan made of countless metallic metals, vowing to annihilate them both. Wukong, with one last surge of strength, summoned his giant golden cudgel from the flames, leaping into the air to deliver a final devastating strike. Erlang also charged towards the titan's core. Together, they delivered a mighty blow, causing the titan to collapse with a deafening roar, and General Hua was completely destroyed. As the dust settled after the battle, Erlang turned to Wukong and said, "This time it was Aziz who saved me. Next time we meet we will be enemies." Wukong glanced back at him and replied with a simple sentence, "I'll be waiting for you." The two parted ways, with Erlang becoming the new general of heaven and Wukong beginning to gather those who refused to bow to fate. They were about to ignite a century-long war between gods and demons. If you enjoyed the recap, please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.